There are two types of river floods: flash flooding and prolonged flooding. Flash flooding is when you have high intensity rainfall over a short period of time. For example, that kind of event could happen in the summertime with thunderstorms. It's also related specifically to small drainage basins. So the rain cannot soak into the ground fast enough and it runs into local rivers. Flash flooding happens more intensely and it's worse on steep land. That's because soil layers are thin and water flows downhill more easily than it can sink into the soil. Now, sometimes over the summer, when there is a flash flood warning, you may get an alert on your phone if you have a phone. So you may have had that happen before, where they'll say flash flood, go to higher ground. I mean, I know people who have had their cars, wrecked basically from floodwater because they were in a little bit more of a valley area and the flash flood came and their car got flooded. So it does happen. Prolonged flooding is when water levels rise gradually over several days or weeks, and that's flooding within a large drainage basin. So it's caused by heavy rain over several days or weeks, and the ground is too saturated for any more water to sink in. Excess water runs off into tributaries and main channels. So it takes time for all of the water in this large drainage basin to end up ultimately in the main river, because the tributaries are feeding into the main channels. So all of the land throughout the whole drainage basin where there's heavy rain, that's prolonged rain, all of that water eventually collects in the main river, okay? So that's why it takes some time. This is a photo from Iowa City. This is the Iowa River in spring 2008. It's pretty flooded. You can see some buildings are flooded. In a prolonged flood situation, the water levels are rising slowly. So luckily that allows for time to prepare. Residents are able to evacuate, for example. Flash flooding, you don't have as much time to prepare or evacuate though. Here's another image. This is showing major flooding near St. Louis, Missouri. So you can see up here, you have the Illinois River, the Mississippi River, and the Missouri River. This is on a normal non-flood stage of these rivers. And then in August 1993, this is showing you how much water you had spilling over the banks, right? So you see, this is a flood stage. Now we have some current events. Over the weekend, the area of Tennessee around Nashville received more than 7 inches of rain. That's actually the second highest 2-day rainfall total ever recorded there. And this is the Cumberland River in Nashville. And on Monday of this week, this was expected on Monday to reach 41.9 feet. And then there's a video you can watch. I posted these links, all 3 of these links on Blackboard. You could read more information about what's going on there. And then this link shows you what different areas would have happened during floods. Okay, it shows what land would be inundated during different flood stages. So you have different colors. You have major flood, moderate flood, minor flood, and near flood. And then you type in what location you're looking for. So this is showing you the Passaic River in Clifton, New Jersey. Okay, so this is the Passaic River. And then I clicked on major flood stage. Major flood stage is 7 feet. And then the purple area shows you all the land that would be inundated during a major flood of the Passaic River. And if you live in any of these areas, you may be familiar with some major flooding that has happened in the past. Okay, so you can go to that website. The link is at the bottom here. You could play around, type in where you live, see the different stages. You would just click on the left, the different stages, and it shows you what land would go underwater.